Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. You already know what it is. It's Marshayla Monique. And I got laid off. So let's talk about it. I know briefly in my last vlog, I had said that I had got laid off. And I didn't expect to get laid off while recording that vlog, while being in the process of moving. But it is what it is. It happens, right? So I just want to give y'all my thoughts, my feelings, and basically a reflection on this entire situation because it is wild. Also, new background, don't know if I'm gonna give y'all a tour, so take what y'all can get, okay? So anyways, let's talk about all of this craziness, okay? So to understand all of this, we need to go a year in the past, February of 2023. Also keep in mind, I have been at this specific company since 2021. Before that, y'all see me working in sales, which was very, very stressful for me. And I still have trauma about it to this day. Anyways, I started this job in August 31st, 2021. I was recommended this job by my brother, and I was really shocked by how they sent you a computer, you weren't micromanaged, and the benefits were great, as well as the team just seeming really, really cool. So obviously I came because this is a popular company that I have seen millions of times, and I know a lot of people that use it. So it was perfect for me, and I love customer service, and I could work from home fully. The only downside was that I had to work on Saturdays, which I eventually got used to. So anyways, let's go February 2023. It's a random Wednesday. We're all just working. At 4 p.m., we get an email that comes through basically saying that 19% of the company is going to be laid off. There were no prior conversations. We did not see this coming, but a lot of people lost their jobs that day. A lot of people that I care about within the company, and I'm not just saying like friends I met at work, I'm talking family, because this opportunity in this company was way too good for us to not put other people on. So I put a lot of people on. So that day, a lot of people that I care about lost their job, and I was lucky enough and blessed enough to stay. And I really didn't understand it, but in the back of my mind, I knew if this were to ever happen again, I'm out of here. So that happened, and I dealt with a lot of survivor's remorse, especially being that a lot of the people that were laid off were people that I got hired, or people that I built a relationship with, or like I said, family. So I just felt really bad, even in my day-to-day conversations, just talking about the job, like moving forward. I just didn't want to discuss it around certain people because they lost their job. So, you know, time goes on, it scars all of us that are left over, but you know, like, we move on, and business is business, and we basically continue on. We still joke about it here and there, but like, everything seems cool. A lot of companies in the tech world, fintech, and just like bigger companies period, did a lot of layoffs around that time. So like, it was like a big sweep of many companies. So like, it was kind of like, okay, this like kind of makes sense. But it was still like, yo, that was wild and very random. So yeah, business continues to be business. Work continues on. I level up. I have a lot of opportunities. I get a very small raise, and things are looking good. Like I said, we kind of talk about it, but not really. But I don't want to talk too much about the company, but one thing I will say, this is one of those companies that had probably been one of the only companies that still had as many customer service representatives as they did, and not outsourcing a lot of the work to different countries per se. So the best way I can explain that is like, when you call Verizon customer service, AT&T, Comcast, T-Mobile, anything like that, you're usually getting someone on the phone that has a language barrier. One thing about this company that I worked at is you were always going to talk to someone that had English as their first language, and that's honestly rare for the most part, because I feel like sometimes when there's a language barrier, it becomes difficult to communicate effectively with a customer and actually understand their issue. Maybe like September is when we started to feel like something, no, not even September, I'll say August is when we started to feel like something was going to happen, and there were like clues to it, but like none of it was like really accurate. So we would all just have like conversations to ourselves about what if this happened again going into the new year. And you know, I didn't put too much thought into it, because I feel like if I work under those type of circumstances to where any day could be my last day, I start to get really stressed out, and I start like overthinking about what I'm going to do and if I'm going to be here. But keep in mind, y'all, I wasn't doubting myself or anything like that, but I knew if this were to happen again, I'm not going to be here. I know it's not going to be. There's no way that I'm going to last through 2 layoffs. It just like, I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't going to happen. So February 2024 comes, and we're all very nervous. We're asking questions about, is there any possibility that this could happen again? Is there anything we should be concerned about? And what's crazy is we were told by someone that's like higher up, like, if you are worried about losing your job, then maybe you need to go somewhere. Maybe you need to start applying different places right now. And that was just a sign for me to where, like, first of all, that's ignorant to say. Second of all, there's probably something that you want to say that you can't say, but I respect it. You signed something to where you can't talk about it. Cool, I get it. Yeah, so there were signs that something was going to happen. We just didn't know exactly what it was, nor did we know how many people it was going to be. And on top of that, as February 8th started to slowly come, we were getting more and more nervous, because we were thinking, like, if the last layoffs were February 8th, 2023, these layoffs are going to be February 8th, 2024. But they were smarter than that. So February 8th comes, we all come to work very nervous, discussing things on the side, like whatever. Nothing happens. It's just a regular day. So after I made it through that day, I was like, cool, like, we're good. I didn't stress about anything. And you know, I continued to have one-on-one meetings with my manager about my goals and my plans for work in 2024, what I wanted to do. I had literally just advocated for the company at a big university in Pittsburgh, maybe like a week prior. So I was like, I'm good, like, I'm secure, you know what I mean? And maybe that's where I fell short. So it's like 11:30 a.m. on a random Tuesday. Keep in mind, I have Sunday and Monday off. So I come back to work Tuesday, I'm feeling refreshed. I just made it through the last week, like everything is good. And I told y'all in my previous vlog that there were people talking about it, and we did have anxiety that day. You know, like, I come back, it's Tuesday, I'm doing my regular thing. I do the same thing every Tuesday, pretty much. I'm on the same project. So I'm doing that, and at 11:30, I'm getting pings on our internal chat, like, check your email, check your email, check your email, check your email. And I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm just doing my thing, just like, you know, going through stuff. And I get an email basically saying that the operations team is going to be revived or something along the lines of that. Something about, like, the operations team is going to be changing. Keep in mind, I work in operations, so this is affecting me directly. So I'm reading through the email. As I'm reading through the email, another calendar invite comes in, and it says impacted with these other details in it. So it says, like, impacted employee. If you weren't getting laid off, your email that you got was not impacted, which is exactly how it was labeled in 2023. So mine says impacted. Calls start coming in. Everybody wants to know what email you got, and unfortunately, a lot of us were impacted, like a lot of us. And when it first happened, it was like 2 days before like my final day at my apartment. So I obviously had a breakdown, and it was obviously very tough for me to process it all at once. But like, you know, like, it was what it was. Like, there was nothing that I could do to change that. I couldn't beg for my job back. I couldn't do anything really. So the 13th, we had another meeting at 12 p.m. and that was basically just someone reading from a piece of paper explaining to us what's going on. I really didn't care at that point. I had already checked out. I had already logged out of all of my work. I'm not doing anything for y'all because y'all didn't even have the courtesy to at least give me a warning that I wasn't going to have my job. You didn't even let people plan accordingly, save money accordingly, like anything like that. So at this point, I don't respect y'all. So I'm not doing anything for, like, I'm not doing anything. So that meeting happens at 12 to 12:30, I think it was, or maybe even 12:10. Maybe they only gave us 10 minutes. From there, we had to have our own personal meeting, just to explain like benefits and your exit process and stuff like that. And it was just like really, really stressful. So many things happening at one day that I really wasn't even able to process it like properly. And there are a lot of details that I missed in that like exit phone call or whatever that I probably should have paid attention to. But I was just like really just like all over the place. Everyone's calling me, you know, like it was just a lot going on that day. And you know, like a lot of us left and it was really sad. And I really do love all of my coworkers, like, and I'm still friends with a lot of them, and I still talk to a lot of them, because like I feel like as an adult, the best friendships you make are with your coworkers, because you know, we're adults. It's almost like making friends at school. These are the people that I talk to every day. These are the people that I'm on Zoom with every day, because keep in mind I work fully remote. But we have like happy hours and stuff like that. We had our last happy hour actually on February 8th, and I wasn't able to go because I wasn't feeling well. But there was another happy hour that I think happened around not Valentine's Day, a little bit earlier. Maybe I did go to the one on February 8th. I can't remember. But it was like going around like this is probably our last in-office day, but I really just didn't believe it. So yeah, it was really hard for me to process, y'all. And just to talk about how I feel now, because it's like it's March 4th, I think it is. But just to talk about like how I feel now, like I think I fully have processed it. Y'all know when the pandemic happened, that was the first time that like I like really like not been laid off, but like I just like wasn't working. Because I've always kept a job. Like that's always just like me. Like I've always kept a job. I've always been a hard worker. So this is taking me a really long time to process, especially being in a corporate space when I make not so much money, but like the most money that I've made in my life I've made at this job. And I do think that it was really difficult because we were almost spoiled at this job with our benefits. Like we had our own little company card that came with like $600 on it a month that I got to use for nails, groceries, anything miscellaneous that I wanted to do. For the most part, it was approved through this card that I just got to have like spend money on my lifestyle. And then also like the insurance was really good. Like they were able to cover my entire procedure for my wisdom teeth coming out, and then like just other health issues that I had in like 2022. So we were really, really spoiled. So losing this for a lot of us was like really hard. On like I know that it'll be difficult to find another opportunity like this. So that's pretty much where the stress that came from. But now that I've processed everything, and I feel like for the next 2 weeks after that, I feel like I had took the biggest loss, and I just didn't understand like what was happening and why this was happening to me and what this meant for me. But now that I've taken time to like sit and like reflect, I think that I did put too much into this job to where they kind of became like this security blanket financially for me, and also just like almost privileged in a way. They kind of made me feel like I was on top of the world, to where I may have gotten lazy in my work because I was spoiled rotten. I'm not micromanaged. I have so much PTO. They're very, you know, flexible and understanding with things going on, to where I may have taken advantage of that. Not saying at all that like I was better than anybody else and I deserve to stay, because that's just the way the cookie crumbles in the corporate world. And that's another thing that I realized, that like, don't think that anything in life is permanent. Don't get comfortable with anything, because it can be gone in a second, and you really should stay humble with any situation that you're in. And not saying that I wasn't humble, because I always will be, but it's just like, that job had been around for so long, and there's so many things that I've been able to do financially because I have this job. So I was like, this is being snatched away from me. I'm not going to be able to do the same things that I used to do, when in reality I don't need that job. The job made me. But right now I'm really just in the process of accepting that God has a bigger plan for me, and he's also just telling me to stay put and stay patient, because everyone keeps asking me, what do you want to do, what do you want to do, have you been applying places? And honestly, I haven't. I've really just been spending time with family and myself. So I'm just in a season of patience. I'm in a season of revival, and I'm in a season of transformation, to where like life is changing for me very quickly, and I don't really understand everything. But what's crazy about like life and just like God, it's like there's already a plan written out for me. I just don't really understand it right now, because it's not for me to understand, if that makes sense. So it's just one of those things where I gotta stay put. I have to be obedient, and I have to just trust that everything is going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. This is a very unfortunate thing to happen to me at 27 years old, but I didn't let it like break me down to pieces and just like, you know, just be depressed and sad. The only thing that I'm struggling with right now is just finding a set routine for myself, because, you know, like when you work a 9 to 5, it's like, okay, I get up, I can have my 5 to 9, and then I have my 9 to 5. Like every day almost feels like the same until your off days, to where you can do what you want, but most of the time you're tired. So I'm just trying to find like my own schedule, to where I wake up at a certain time, I go to the gym, and then I'm productive throughout my day, rather than just like being extremely scattered, which is how I feel right now, because I'm a person of routine. I'm a person that gets comfortable with the routine, and I'm okay with that, you know what I mean? So right now it just feels like everything is just like, I'm just figuring it out day by day. So my next videos will definitely be like me getting into a routine, me going out and being able to do things during the day that I wasn't able to do while I was consumed by my job. So yeah, it's definitely an adjustment, but I will say overall I am extremely thankful for the opportunity that I had at that company. I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I met a lot of people. I feel like I challenged myself a lot. I feel like I took some losses as well, to where it's kind of just like another humbling situation, like being on my high horse thinking that I really got it like that, when you don't really got it like that. So I did learn a lot at this company, and the connections that I made to this company is something that I will cherish forever, and I have a lot of friendships that I will have forever. So I'm still thankful for everything that I have gained from this job. So I'm not really taking like a big loss, because I have learned so much. I've learned so much knowledge, and I've learned a lot about myself as well. And I've been able to do a lot of things because of this job. So at the end of the day, I could really just be thankful, and I'm ready for the next journey, whatever that looks like. So yeah, y'all, I'm okay. Don't worry about me. The great thing about this is I will be able to create content more. I'll be able to post more. I'll probably be on YouTube and Instagram more than anything else, because TikTok got too many rules and regulations for me right now, and I don't like it. TikTok is not what it used to be back in 2020 and 2021, and I don't like that. So I will be on YouTube and I will be on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is linked somewhere on my YouTube channel, so go check that out. That's where I post most of my coffee videos and just like my day-to-day life if you are interested in seeing that. But yeah, y'all, I'm good. I swear I'm good. But thank y'all for always letting me be open and transparent here. Overall, we're entering in a new phase of life. Y'all seen all of the transitions that have been happening, and it's just going to keep going. So buckle up if you're really here for the ride, and if you really see me go through so many different things. Like, girl, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm thankful for everything. I'm thankful for every trial and tribulation, and I know that I'm strong enough to get through anything. So that's really just that on that, because at the end of the day, I ain't got no job and I ain't got shit to do, so I'm gonna be right here. But thank y'all for tuning in to another video. I love y'all so much. I'm forever thankful for y'all. Thanks for all the love on my last video. I really appreciate that as well. You already know what it is and you already know what it ain't, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.